In the fight, in the fight, seeking for your faith, seeking for your faith. In the fight, in the fight, seeking for your faith, seeking for your faith. In the fight, in the fight, seeking for your faith, seeking for your faith.
We forgot how to exercise our sovereignty. We think they're giving it to us, but they're not. We already have it. We just haven't exercised it. Sovereignty is not for them to tell us what we can or can't do.
On August 23, 1998, some 300 Native people attempted to walk 768 miles from San Diego to Sacramento in an effort to bring unification to the tribal nations of California. The walk was the vision of Robert John, a spiritual elder who speaks on Native issues at colleges and universities. He also runs sweat lodges for the California Youth Authority and conducts burial ceremonies. Robert John would lead the walk out of respect for his teachers, every step taken for healing. Songs would be sung so that the ancestors would know that they, as different but one people, are still walking and offering gratitude to all living things.
There'll be no alcohol or drugs with any of our organizations, no firearms or weapons. It's not about abusive language. And that all local and state traffic laws will be observed. And the police are really checking us out right now.
All the territories, okay, indigenous territories, will be greeting the people of each nation, each land, with sacred tobacco. Some of the leaders will be meeting us and walking us through their territories, which will be a beautiful thing.
So when we go from the Sueños to the Tongva to the Chumash, each nation has their own ways of dealing with people who come in. So when we go there, we'll be meeting with their elders, and we must approach them in a sacred way. We offer them the tobacco, we ask permission to go through their territories, and they will give that permission or not.
If we come up against something and they say that we can't go through, say we give them our offering, the tobacco and the sage, and ask for their blessing to go through, and they still say no.
We go around them. We do not, of anybody, of all the people, if we cannot honor our own people, if they say, we'd rather you don't come through here because we feel threatened or we're worried or we don't want it, whatever the reason might be, we have to honor that and step and go around.
Unification is an important concept that we carry in our minds but has not really occurred throughout the state with all tribes coming together. People have to remember that in pre-contact times, the California Indians were not just one tribe similar to the Lakotas or the Hopis or the Navajos. We were many, many nations.
The purpose of the walk was to establish unification of the 278 tribal nations of California into a strong, unified force. However, unification is difficult, and there are opposing forces. Native tribes like the Hupa, Tabatalaba, and Chumash consider themselves as different from one another as the United States does from Mexico or Canada. There are also the economic factors. Some native tribes that are federally recognized have become wealthy through casino gaming, causing a disparity with other native tribes, particularly those that are not federally recognized. But the walkers believe that all tribal nations together can achieve what individually they would not be able to obtain on their own. As they are confronted with new challenges such as forced assimilation and threats to their sovereignty and existence, the strength of a unified people is paramount. The walk represents the beginning of this unifying prayer.
Before there was a United States, our Native people were here. and we demand that the United States treat us with dignity and respect, because we are the first people of this land.
Angelo Lovato, Pomo and Cooper.
Cindy Alvitre, Gabrielino Tongva Nation in Southern California.
Lillian Valenzuela Robles, the Hashima Nation, known as the Guareño.
Steven Cecina, the Ohlone Nation, also the Chumash, Yokut, and Tongva people. Robert John, Seneca, and Tabata Labo from the east and Central Valley, up by Kern River.
Pala, just 40 miles east of San Diego, was the starting point for the walk. The walkers would have to cover over 30 miles to make it to their first campsite at San Luis Rey Mission.
Okay, it actually
We said, well, we need unity through the tribes and everything, so this walk with the sovereignty and also to unify all the tribes within the areas, you know, to come together as one and do this walk from here to Sacramento.
We were going to have some cell phones for the group and the vans.
It's going to be good for the ancient ones. It's going to be good for our ancestors because they'll be speaking again.
There was a lot of good times with a lot of people. A lot of people came and they fed us, and we laughed a lot of times. But I think the best day was right here in the morning, the first day. Everybody's hearts were open, we were ready, strong, and we could have done anything.
The walk started at Pala. Very, very symbolic, because those people were removed from Warner Hot Springs. They were forced, it was a forced walk to the land that they now occupy at Pala Indian Reservation, a tiny, tiny little piece of land.
Clarence Atwell Jr. blessed Robert John and Mr. Lovato with sage as they led the beginning of the walk.
Traditionally, a walker was a messenger. And the California Indian history has been a tragic one that we're recovering from. But with the walkers, they became those messengers, those people who had the obligation of being physically, spiritually, and culturally strong enough to take the message across the state of California.
Oh, God. I'm just sitting here, my little heart's pounding like crazy. I'm so happy right now, man. I can't stand it. I just love this. Walking down the highway, everybody looks just like me. It's great.
That was good. That was good.
Steve Cecina is a traditional singer and dancer.
I'm from a federally unrecognized tribe, how they say. We're working towards federal recognition right now. And I think with unification, each tribe in California will recognize each other as a sovereign nation, which would help us all.
There's a large majority of California Indian tribes that are not federally recognized, that are considered to be terminated, that are considered to be extinct. There is congressional legislation in the making right now that would like to eliminate any attempts at federal recognition.
I feel great. It's good. It feels good. Look at all these people, man. They're happy. And they got together. I like watching the people respond to us on the highway. They're real nice and enthusiastic.
Keith Masumi, although not a member of a California tribe, is walking to show his support.
Feeling good pace. Only one blister. We're all right.
I got my eagle right there up on the hill, just now landed.
Yeah, I need a traffic control person down here at Star Track Highway.
Okay, I will. Oh.
What are the obstacles so far?
Sore feet. Probably fast pace. We got to go 22 miles. We got a little bit of a late start this morning, but that's good.
California has the largest Indian population in the country, and the United States government needs to absolutely recognize us, as well as the state governments in particular too, need to recognize us as we are sovereign nations.
And it was brought by the peacemaker who said that they took one arrow and they could snap it. But when he put 5 arrows together, no man could break it. So this is the same idea of the basis of the Confederacy, and the same would go for the California tribes. One tribe like this could snap, but if you bring them all together, no one could break them.
The Bureau of Indian Affairs is the hierarchy of the United States government that has been placed with the charge of Native people.
I went to a meeting with the BIA, and they said they're writing a policy for all Indians, and especially California. And they raised the blood degree, so that means they are defining what a California Indian is.
Native American people are the only people in this country who have to prove that they are Indian. You don't go up to a black person and say, you know, what's your blood degree? You don't go up to an Asian person, what's your blood degree, or white person. It's always Indian people.
We must unify, take our life in our own hands. We decide who we are.
We had 2 people shoot the finger at us.
I know, someone mooned us.
I intend to go all the way to Sacramento and to do whatever it takes to get all of us there. We started out together, and I don't know how many are going to be there by the time we get to Sacramento, but whoever it is, we're going to walk in there strongly, and whatever it takes, we'll take care of each other.
It was a journey of pain, and I was thinking about my grandmother all this time and how they walked from Warner's, the struggles that they had, and that's where the pain was.
Finally, the walkers arrived at the La Sueño Nation at San Luis Rey Mission.
Each original nation was to give us a passport, and they would put a feather or some medicine on that staff to give us their protection to walk through their land. Because when they tied those feathers on, it wasn't just a feather. It represented all their ancestors, all the ones before them, the ones who took care of that land. They were giving us protection in that way. So that staff represented the unity of the people.
I'm honored as the captain of the Louisiana tribe of San Luis Rey to be the first leg to offer them their hospitality and a stay for their first long journey.
A lot of blisters. You're gonna see a lot of blisters, a lot of dehydration, until probably about day 3 or day 4, you're gonna start seeing people with signs and symptoms of dehydration, fatigue, maybe heat stroke.
We're getting ready to go to Pendleton, and because of the bombings in Afghanistan and that, they won't let us walk through Pendleton, but the staff must be carried every foot of the way. So they're allowing us to run the staff through with 6 runners, and the runners, they have to run the whole 40 miles today.
Scared. No, I feel pretty good. We're gonna run through Pendleton. We're gonna run through the Marine Corps base.
I'm only gonna give like about, maybe about 2 to 3 miles though, you know, because my feet are hurting.
My brother trained there. He's not here with us anymore, but he trained there. So his spirit's gonna be with us and help us through this.
The runners would now carry the staff to the Marine Corps base, Camp Pendleton. Robert Cecina and his brother Steve, Julian Golett, Keith Masumi, John Raydog, and drinking water, whose shorts were rendered useless after an accident, but continued anyway with just a towel around his waist.
I'm running to keep our way of life alive. Native sovereignty.
Sovereignty for our people, for the right to pray, for the right to live, for my children, running for my wife, running for my family, running for a change in me.
Running with my brother, that was very powerful for me. We were able to run through Pendleton together, you know, so I thought that was very, very special for me, for us to be there together, you know, for each other.
Where's the other road take us back?
Where does the other road take us?
We gotta make it so somebody radio so we don't go down the wrong road again.
The route. Robert knows the route.
What route?
I mean, we ran here, we don't know where we're going.
Right here. This is the one we're going by.
Okay, there we go.
Doesn't tell you anything.
All right. This doesn't show Pendleton, right? Indians don't get lost.
We're right
They're
here.
waiting
Lost
for us
folks.
up here.
Okay, so we just go back into the gate and run that road.
All right.
My towel's falling off.
Oh, brother, your skirt's coming down. You need a size 2.
The runners caught up with the rest of the walkers who were bussed ahead.
Yeah. Woo. Woo. That's cold.
That's good.
These guys were good. They even let me run a half a mile and watch me die at the end of the half mile. I said, you know what?
33. I think the toughest day maybe was the second day. It wasn't my bleeding feet. It wasn't deceit. It wasn't betrayal. The second day I couldn't find my son. And he had crawled in a tent, went to sleep, and we couldn't find him. And I thought something happened to him, and I questioned, what the heck am I doing here? What am I doing for anything if I can't take care of my own kids? So throughout the whole walk, I had a hard time trying to keep an eye on my son at the same time.
What do you think the land looked like 400 years ago?
I can imagine it, but I'm more concerned what it's going to look like 400 years from now, and that's why I'm walking.